It's Friday, June 17th, 2022. Here's a balcony garden update for this week. That is crazy windy out today, like really crazy windy. These onions, they just seem to grow like crazy, so the onions grow really well. And just pick them as you need them. This is the plant that was grown from the lemon seed. You can see it's a nice healthy looking. Now what started out looking promising was a strawberry. It doesn't seem to have any right now. That seems to be a disappointment for this year. Seems to be a little windy out today. So here's a jalapeno pepper plant. I haven't been here in 2 weeks. So we're looking at 2 weeks of progress here. And you can see this plant is growing peppers quite nicely. Now with the great successes, we also have some failures. This plant looks somewhat okay, but look at the leaves. It's turned black, which is not a good sign. You can see the one flower here. It doesn't look healthy at all. Neither does this plant. But we're going to leave it here and we're going to have a look and see what happens with it. Now onto the focus of cherry tomato plants. Remember, these are organic from seed cherry tomato plants. You can see this one here. It's got nice leaves on it. And you can see the slow progress. So that's a couple of weeks right there. You can see how I put a little stick and tied it. I just used a twist tie. That's all I had. And we'll keep an eye on this plant as it progresses. Now with success also comes failure. Now, I'm not saying this plant is a failure as of yet, but this is also a cherry tomato plant. You can see that it hasn't had its growth spurt yet. It's still pretty tiny. So we'll keep an eye on that and we'll see what happens. But it's nowhere near as tall as the other one I just showed you. I had a couple more of these. Remember the small cherry tomato ones, little tiny skinny, organic from seed plants. And you can see this one's not getting tall yet, but it's got a bunch of leaves on it. 5 feet away, here's another one. You can see this one has not gotten tall either. Remember, tomato plants need lots of sun and lots of water. So I'll keep an eye on these and hopefully we'll get good progress out of them like we did last year. Now here's another one that I planted. Now normally you want tomato plants 5 feet away from anything else. This one's more like 7 feet away. You can see there's lots of room between them, so space is not an issue. And unfortunately this one looks to be struggling a little. It does have green leaves on it, it's very small. We'll keep an eye on that as well. We'll keep an eye on this one as well. Now if you have a close look at this plant here, you might see the reason why this hasn't grown so much. Take a close look. It sprouted into 2 little plants. They're probably fighting for water, and that's why the plant is still small. So as you can see, you're getting a lot of progress from a lot of the plants. With the organic tomato plants grown from seed, you need to be very patient. Probably not going to see any tomatoes until about August. It'll take a long time to grow. I like to try and do an update every week. I like to try and do a weekly update. I was unable to do an update last week because of the weather. So I didn't get to see the progress last week. Keep an eye on the cherry tomato plants. At some point, hopefully they'll have some growth spurts. Hopefully, in due time, we'll get some tomatoes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.